with the book The Catcher in the Rye. একদম যেখান থেকে শেষ করেছি আজকে সেখান থেকেই শুরু করব। লাস্ট ভিডিওতে মেবি চ্যাপ্টার এই যে পেজ 21 পর্যন্ত পড়া হয়েছিল, বুকমার্ক করা আছে। আমি একদম ওইখান থেকে শুরু করব। আসলে আজকে আমি খুবই টায়ার্ড ছিলাম, এরপর আমি ভাবলাম যে না, আজকে একটা লাইভ করার কথা, সেটা আমার করতেই হবে, প্লাস স্টোরিটা লাগানো হবে, কারণ আমি ভেরি এক্সাইটেড। পরে কি হয়েছে, এই পেজটা থেকে শুরু হবে। I'd rather call old Thomas Hardy up. I like that Eustacia Vi. Anyway, I put on my new hat and sat down and started reading the, that book out of Africa. I would read it every day, but I wanted to read certain parts over again. I only read about 3 pages though when I heard somebody coming through the shower curtains. Even without looking up, I knew right away who it was. It was Robert Ackley, this guy that roomed right next to me. There was a shower right between every two rooms in our wing, and about 85 times a day, old Ackley buzzed in on me. He was probably the only guy in the whole dorm besides me that wasn't down at the game. He hardly ever went anywhere. He was a very peculiar guy. He was a senior and he would been at Penn State the whole 4 years and all, but nobody ever called him anything except Eckley. Not even Herb Gill, his own roommate, ever called him Bob or even Ack. If he ever gets married, his own wife probably call him Ackley. He was one of these very tall, round-shouldered guys. He was about 6'4" with lousy teeth the whole time. আচ্ছা, আমার কেন মনে হচ্ছে আমি এই লাইনগুলো পড়ছি আগে। No worries. The whole time he roomed next to me. I never even once saw him brush his teeth. They always looked mozzy and awful, and he damn near made you sick if you saw him in the dining room with his mouth full of mashed potatoes and peas or something. Besides that, he had a lot of pimples, not just on his forehead or his chin. Yes, পেজ পড়া হয়েছে, but I forgot আমি লাস্ট দিন কোন পেজ পর্যন্ত পড়ছি। I guess এখানে something. But anyways, I will continue. Like most guys, but all over his whole face. And not only that, he had a terrible personality. He was also sort of a nasty guy. I wasn't too crazy about him, to tell you the truth. I could feel him standing on his shower ledge right behind my chair, talking, uh, taking a look to see if Stradlater was around. He never came in the room if Stradlater was around. He hated everybody's guts, damn near. He came down off the shower ledge and came in the room. Hi, he said. He always said it like he was terribly bored or terrifically tired. He didn't want you to think he was visiting you or anything. He wanted you to think he would come in by mistake, for God's sake. Hi, I said, but I didn't look up from my book with a guy like Ackley. If you looked up from your book, you were a goner. You were a goner anyway, but not as quick if you didn't look up right away. He started picking up your personal stuff off your desk chiffonier. Okay, he always picked up your personal stuff and looked at it. Boy, could he get on your nerves sometimes. How was the fencing? He said. He just wanted me to quit reading and enjoying myself. He didn't give a damn about the fencing. We win or what, he said. Nobody won, I said, without looking up though. ওকে মানে রুমে আসার পর হচ্ছে একদম প্রায়োরিটি দিতেছে না, বই পড়তে থাকলে যেমন আমরা অন্যদিকে তাকাই না, সেরকম একটা অবস্থা। What he said, he always made you say everything twice. অনেক মানুষরা নর্মালি এমন করে, মানে একই কথা তাদের বারবার বলে বোঝাতে হয়। Nobody won, I said. I sneaked a look to see what he was fiddling around with on my chiffonier. He was looking at this picture of this girl I used to go around with in New York, Sally Hayes. He must have picked up that goddamn picture and looked at it at least 5,000 times since I got it. He always put it back in the wrong place too. When he was finished, he did it on purpose, you could tell. Nobody won, he said. How come? I left the He didn't get it though. He started walking around the room again, picking up all my personal stuff as straddlers. Finally, I put my book down on the floor. You couldn't read anything with a guy like Eckley around. It was impossible. I slept with a held down in my chair and watched old Eckley making himself at home. I was feeling sort of tired from the trip of New York and all. I started yawning. Then I started horsing around a little bit. Sometimes I horse around quite a lot just to keep from getting bored. What I did was I pulled the old pick of my hunting hand around to the front, then pulled it way down over my eyes. That way I could see a goddamn thing. Okay, now moving forward. I think I'm going blind, I said in this very hoarse voice. Mother darling, everything's getting so dark in here. You're nuts, I swear to God, Agli said. Mother darling, give me your hand. Why won't you give me your hand? Oh my God, for Christ's sake, grow up. I started groping around in front of me like a blind guy, but without getting up or anything. I kept saying, Mother darling, why won't you give me your hand? I was only horsing around naturally. What is this horsing? That stuff gives me a bang sometimes. Besides, I know it annoyed hell out of old Ackley. He always brought out the old sadist in me. I was pretty sadistic with him quite often. Finally, I quit, though. I pulled the pig around to the back again and relaxed. Who belongs to this? Ackley said. He was holding my roommate's niece of Pialta. Look what he's up to. Let me guys show you. Meanwhile, I am doing this. এই যে তুমি কোথা থেকে চলে এসেছো বাবা? তুমিও কি আমার বুক রিডিং এ জয়েন করতে চাও? ইউ ওয়ান্ট টু জয়েন দ্য বুক রিডিং? ঘুমাও না কেন? ওকে, why are you not sleeping? দিস ইজ মাই জেবু, এটা আমার জেবু। একদম জেবুর মতোই দেখতে না? দেন ও কি জানি দেখতেছে, খুঁজতেছে, কিছু একটা করতে চাইতেছে। বিকজ I have a goal. We have a goal. I was only horsing around naturally. That stuff gives me a bang sometimes. Besides, I know it annoyed hell out of old Ackley. He always brought out the old sadist in me. I was pretty sadistic with him quite often. Finally, I quit though. I pulled the pig around to the back again and relaxed. Who belongs to this? Ackley said. He was holding my roommate's knee supporter up to show me that guy Ackley or something. I told him it was Stadler's, so he chucked it on Stadler's bed. He got rid of Stadler's stiffener, so he chucked it on the bed. He came over and sat down on the arm Stadler's chair. He never sat down in a chair, just always on the arm. Where the hell do I get that hat? He said. New York, how much a buck? You got robbed. He started cleaning his goddamn fingernails with the end of a match. আচ্ছা আসলেই এমন টাইপের পার্সন অনেক অ্যানোয়িং। আমি এমন একটা ফেস করছি when I was in hostel. He was always cleaning his fingernails. It was funny in a way. His teeth were always mossy looking and his ears were always dirty as hell. But he was always cleaning his fingernails. I guess he thought that made him a very neat guy. He, he took another look at my hat while he was cleaning them. Up home, wear a hat we wear a hat like that to shoot deer in for Christ's sake, he said. That's a deer shooting hat. Like hell it is. I took it off and looked at it.